So what's nice about the chat is my end user can type in what's wrong, perhaps, cannot access general ledger. What am I doing wrong? Is there a problem? Whatever she needs to say. The agent is engaged in this chat session, and perhaps we say there is a network issue. I'll open an incident, and we will get back to you. All right? And I'm going to send that off. And then I have the ability to generate an incident when I close this chat window. So I have the option to create an incident if I'd like to. So this new incident was just created. It's incident 339, and you can see that the client ID is Sally, the person who initiated the chat session. This is what set the incident source as chat. And what happens with the current release of chat, again, it is in beta. It's available for you to use, but it hasn't been, we're still trying to develop it. A lot of customers expressed an urgent need, which is why it's available. So the chat discussion goes into the description field. That's just the way it is right now, similar to when tickets come in via email input. The email thread goes into description. And now what I can simply do is maybe I'm going to type and say cannot access GL. And now I can go in and I can apply a template to it if I want to. All right, maybe it's Oracle Financials issue, which put in the category. I love templates. I can ensure consistency, of course, when tickets of the same kind are being submitted. So that's how easy it was to create a ticket from a chat session. All right? That's an enhancement that a lot of my customers like a great deal. Okay? All right. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to talk a little bit more about self-service and what the options are today. If you're a current Remedyforce customer, you're familiar with the self-service portal. If you've never seen Remedyforce before, I just want to mention real quickly that there is an end-user self-service portal. All right, there are 250 licenses for your end users included with every single license for an analyst. So you can make this available very easily. Great way to communicate with your end users with broadcasts. And I have scrolling broadcasts for things that are really urgent. I may also want people to be able to highlight specific broadcasts to see the details. And maybe some of them aren't even scrolling. So from the self-service portal, this is where our end users can submit incidents. And I have a bunch of common ones here that are based on templates. So when they submit these, a template will be applied. Which, by the way, templates are great because not only does it allow you to maybe put in a unified description or impact urgency, but in a template you can also have the assignment. So rather than the service desk having to open up each incident and determine this goes to telecom, this goes to financial, a template can actually apply that assignment as well. So in addition to submitting incidents, submitting service requests from the service catalog, and those are great because they kick off all kinds of processes, maybe approval steps, generate tasks, etc. Users can also search the knowledge base within self-service. So there's a knowledge management component. You can have different kinds of knowledge articles. These are some of the ones that are common or popular. But you can certainly navigate by category for knowledge articles, as well as requestable services from the service catalog. Or you can always do a global search. So as an end user, I can quickly see any incident templates that match, service requests, knowledge articles that match. And I can also get into my chatter feed here. So as an end user, I can see what I'm following. I could submit tickets. I could post, even if I'm announcing a barbecue. If I'm giving the rights to, I have the ability to join different groups and post to chatter. All right. That was a quick run through of the self-service portal because this discussion is really geared towards updates in Remedyforce. But what I want to show you now is what's called MyIT. MyIT is a new app we've had an app, a native app for your mobile devices for Remedyforce Self-Service, and it's still available. Okay, it is still available, but MyIT is a new app and a new service that provides additional enhancements. So I am just waiting for AirPlay to kick on, and then we will be able to look at MyIT directly from a device. Bear with me. Let's make sure Reflector's running. All right. And if we can't get that to happen, we will just quickly go ahead and go over to the MyIT Universal Client, which is browser-based. So we have both the app that can be installed on mobile devices, you can for Android, iPhone, etc. You can also provide your users with a link to MyIT for the Universal Client. I'm just going to launch it directly from my Remedyforce console for easy access. But you can provide a link to your end user so that they can access MyIT. And it provides location services, so you can choose to share their location. So I'm logged in right now to MyIT. It's a different kind of self-service. As you see, it provides different capabilities. All right? But just like from the web app, or the self-service portal, I have the ability to submit incidents. I have the ability to request services. So just like I would have a minute ago through self-service, I could also get in here and submit a service request by filling out the form right here within MyIT. Okay? But MyIT provides a lot more capabilities. Your users can actually create or request appointments with the service desk. Maybe they need to work on something, so I'm going to say, analyze my hard drive for corruption. So I want to meet with the service desk. I need their help. And if times are available, and they are, I'm going to ask to meet with them at 2 p.m. on Thursday. And MyIT can integrate with your Outlook calendar so that you can, when you're creating appointments, look up at the calendar and see what your availability is, and then have that appointment added to your calendar. Okay? So I just created a meeting request. You have the ability to have location services so that you can post where users reside. And then if they're going to visit different offices, for example, they can drill down and they can see things like floor plans, all right, which is really a nice capability. I can link down to the map. I could get down to, if I want to even see the floor of where they are and drill down that way. All right, so that gives you an idea of MyIT. That was kind of a quick introduction. The last thing that I want to show that I hope will cooperate is that Salesforce One app. So what I'm going to do, because I think that that's pretty important, and then I'm going to wrap it up for today, I'm going to go ahead real quickly and kill that reflector process. This is just something we have found with this particular tool. Sometimes it hangs, and so I find that if we kill it, I can launch it again. And I'm really going through this exercise because the Salesforce One app is so useful. It's so important that if I can get this functioning, I really would like to let you see it. Beyond that, those are the main things that I really wanted to show you today, because I think they're really some of the most useful, commonly requested features. And then we will go ahead and cut over to Q&A. All right, we are waiting. And I'll tell you what, I think that at this point, it turns out that AirPlay's not wanting to work. So why don't we go ahead and jump over to any kind of Q&A you might have. And then what we'll do is towards the end, when I'm finished with Q&A, if the Salesforce One app is back up and I'm able to show it through Reflector, I'll do that. So at this point, why don't we go ahead and jump over to questions, all right?
Okay. Tim, this is Dick. I'm back on. So we have had some questions that have been submitted, and we can run through some of these right now. And if you can get AirPlay to run, and maybe you can explain. I think the AirPlay is just a simulator, isn't it? It's not like the product isn't working. It's just that the simulator. Is that right?
Actually, it's working now. It took a minute to come up. What AirPlay is, folks, this is an Apple thing. AirPlay is like, if you're using Apple TV and what have you. AirPlay is specifically addressed to, my iPhone. I have an iPhone here and an iPad. So the way that I'm able to show Reflector is I simply use AirPlay and connect through a wireless network. Okay? And it is being finicky right now. So let's go ahead and go to the questions because it did kick out. I'm not sure why. So we'll see if it comes back.
Well, I've got there's some questions in here. The first one is there an additional charge for MyIT? I know you showed the product.
That's a really good question. MyIT, so with Remedyforce, you get MyIT Basic. MyIT Basic lets you do pretty much most of the things I just showed. It lets you submit tickets. It lets you submit service requests. It lets you search the knowledge base. Very similar to what you can do from the self-service portal. It doesn't support chat yet. That chat feature I just showed you is just from the self-service portal. Now, if you want to add functionality, such as the location services, where you can upload maps, and then on those maps, plot where different resources are, so that when users visit facilities, they can go to location services and find where the nearest printer is on the floor that they're visiting or what have you. That's part of MyIT Premium, okay? So we have MyIT Premium and MyIT Base. What I showed you today, though, is part of the base that you already get with Remedyforce, and it's the same license ratio. For every single user license of Remedyforce, for like an analyst, you get 250 self-service users and 250 MyIT Base users. Okay, next question.
I love this question because, Tim, you showed us a lot of bells and whistles, and the question here is there an audio chime which will let the agent know that someone has requested a new chat conversation?
Not to date, and I think that's a great enhancement. I'd imagine, I'm not going to guarantee it's on the list because, again, this is beta, but I'm going to run straight to the product manager after this discussion because I think that that's a great enhancement.
Okay.
Put that down.
Next question. When we add a field to a form, does this get overwritten on the next upgrade, or is it saved?
It is saved.
A customization or configuration? Okay.
Yes. If you create a custom field, right, for an object, let's say incident, and you decide that there's a field that none of our 99 out of the box really can meet, you create a custom field. It's part of the field sets within the object. It does not get overwritten, so you will not lose it.
Okay. Good. And then this has to do with the Universal Console. It says, are you able to select a range of rows as well, or must you click each one individually, such as shift-click?
Let's pop back there. All right, so from a console, you're talking about if I wanted to select a single ticket, is that what we're talking about, or if I wanted to select several?
Yeah.
Okay, so the shift.
It just says select a range of rows. Yeah.
Okay, exactly.
Okay.
Shift. No, the shift. Doing shift select is not selecting them all. It's skipping them. Okay.